Hello, folks. This is Steve AB4L. Nothing in this episode is a promotion, nor is it a recommendation. Actually, I think I'm just going to have some fun my way if my voice holds up. So, one of the tabs I have open is this one here, and it's mostly about political news, international and U.S., but I'm scrolling down. List of 87 Red Lobster locations temporarily closed. Oh, temporarily closed as companies' financial struggles continue. It seems like this sort of news is becoming daily. The company reportedly considered filing for bankruptcy in April, but it appears they have not done so yet. So maybe they're restructuring, I don't know. Some locations are likely to permanently close given that their kitchen equipment was found up for auction on a restaurant liquidator website. USA Today reports that 48 locations so far are selling their kitchen equipment, or they could be getting all new. My uncle owned a luncheonette. He was the everything in the kitchen at the back. Sit-down booth, soda fountain. I worked in a summer camp. I was the pot washer in the kitchen. "87 restaurants in more than 25 states." So now it goes to another website. 27 states. So I was curious. How about North Carolina? That's where I am. I think they're all over the United States. I looked it up. They've been around for like 50 years. I think I have been to a Red Lobster once or twice. I was thinking about it, trying to remember where. Maybe Raleigh, North Carolina. Okay. Burlington, oh, that's just up the road. If I go over there to Ramseur and I take 49, 40, is it 42 or 49? Cary, Durham, oh, wait a minute, Rocky Mount. I used to live in Raleigh. Hang on. It kind of rings a bell. It's on Chapel Hill Road Boulevard, Chapel Hill Boulevard in Durham. Let's get a better map. Subway. This looks familiar. I'm looking for the Red Lobster. looking for the Red Lobster. Not us. Now, I know I came down off of Subway. Happy China. What? Family Fair. That's a car dealership or something. Look at that. The first one I look up, we can't find it. Excuse me for being like this, folks, but it puzzles me. Did they get directions? Hang on. Okay, now they're showing how to get there from Asheboro. Now there's one in Greensboro, right? See, I like playing with this. I like playing online. There's Durham. There's 501. I said it looked familiar. I know where 501 is. 15501. So it's in a plaza. So what did this other one do? It didn't give me anything close to this for that other address. When I use the address, let's see if it's the same place. Not even close. 15501 in that area is a divided highway. And there it is. There it is. There's the Red Lobster. What happened with that other one? Never mind. Wait a minute. Why would something like that was Google search, wasn't it? This is 11225 Chapel Hill Boulevard Service Road. The other address was 2505 Durham Chapel Hill Boulevard. Not even the same neighborhood. It's nowhere near it. So who got me there the right way? The get directions on the Red Lobster site. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Wait a minute. Do you see what an a-hole I am? Can you see it? Can you see it? What an a-hole I am? I looked for 416 Chapel Hill Boulevard, but it's 4416. I'm going to have to apologize to the search engine. Let's see if they get it right. Ah! I'm not embarrassed. I'm I'm just like the president. Now hang on. Carrie. I lived in Raleigh. Durham is northwest. Chapel Hill and Durham is northwest from Raleigh, past the Research Triangle Park. Research Triangle. Durham, Chapel Hill, Raleigh. Triangle. But then southwestward, when I moved to Raleigh, Cary was mostly cow pastures. It ain't that today, but you couldn't find one. Same thing for Apex. So let's see where it is. Walnut Street. Let's see where that is. There it is. Now there's 440, that's the belt line. 64, can you see it? Flood warning, it's really been raining here today. It's really been raining. But why do they stick this in the way of me seeing what I want? What's the matter with them? So where is it? It's somewhere here, right? We just lost track of it with them playing around with me. What's the matter with it? See, they're trying to jam everything in on you. They're smarter than me. I don't know what I really need. They know what I need. So it's somewhere right here. Oh, on Walnut Street. Soel Grill Korean Barbecue. I have to keep that in mind. If we go in a little deeper, Courtyard Raleigh, Lowe's Home Improvement, The Guy's Place Hair Salon, Chick-fil-A. It doesn't seem to want to tell us where it is. Marshall's, Michael's, Target, Home Depot. Remember, I'm not promoting anything. Let's go a little deeper. Starbucks, Olive Garden, McDonald's, Ashley, Relentless Collision, Carolina AO, Wake STEM, Early College, High School. Oh, is that where it is? It's like they've written it off the map. It's like they've written it off the map already. Motel 6, Harbor Freight, Cookout. Now, I know this particular place. Let's try it again. You see where the red dot is? You see the Chick-fil-A? We'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. It's right next to the Chick-fil-A. Now let's look at what's going on. It's the first time I'm looking. Let's look at what's going on. Let me go a little closer. Okay, did you see what happened? This didn't have a label, but now it's AutoZone. That's why I went closer. As you go closer, you really go in. And here's Chick-fil-A. We saw that a moment ago. Olive Garden. Have you ever eaten there? I have. So it must be this one. Let's go in a little closer still. Oh, look what it says. This is how fast they are. Red Lobster temporarily closed. That's the story. Red Lobster temporarily closed. I know where this is because I used to live in Raleigh. I used to go out to this area a lot. I can prove it. You see what it says right there? 64. 1 in 64. So if you go west on 64, it's 1 and 64, but then they divide. 1 breaks off and is headed south, and 64 goes this way, goes this way, goes this way, goes past Jordan Lake, goes this way, goes this way, goes past Pittsburgh, goes this way. I just put up a video yesterday about something that's happening along 64. They're building a big new silicon carbide plant called Wolfspeed. I'm not promoting anything. And that's Siler City, you know, in the Andy show. And there's the Wolfspeed right there. See it right there. And then if you keep going, right, you get to Ramseur. And if you go a little further, you get to where I am, right out there. So if I wanted to go to that Red Lobster, the easiest one for me to find, not necessarily the closest one, but the easiest one for me to find, I just go right out on that road there and go that way and just keep going until I get to, and it's right down there, except it's temporarily closed. Got one more. We got one more. Hang on. Burlington. Pardon me. I can't remember whether you go up 42 or 49. 42. Now they pull the cookie thing. 1726 Glidewell Drive. Pardon me. The one that we saw in Cary, I've actually seen that Red Lobster and driven by it. But I don't think that's the one that I ate at. I'm trying to remember. It was a long time ago. But you know, the Red Lobsters are everywhere, and they've been in business a long time. It could have been long before I came to North Carolina. Let's see where this is. Let's see if this would be easy for me to get to. Let's look at the actual location. No outlet. Glidewell. There it is. Red Lobster, New England themed seafood chain, temporarily closed. So it's got the same label on the search engine the very same day as it was in the news. I'm curious. Can I get it to stop doing that? You see what it did? You see what it did? It took away what I was looking for. Huffman Mill Road. There's 40. Okay, if I click on that, it shows it back to me. See, they think they're so much smarter than me. They just want to whip me around and confuse me. You see what happened? All right, I want to figure out where this is on 40. I can't, all right, it's right there at that. Okay, so I'm just going to kill that. I'm going to go like this. And by the way, this is an intersection that I researched less than 2 weeks ago for a completely different reason. Now it's University Drive. And let's see if we can do the same thing. There's a Target. There's, oh, look at this. There's an Olive Garden. You remember in Cary, there's an Olive Garden right next to Chili's Grill, University Commons Shopping Mall. There's the Drury thing. Okay, Texas Roadhouse. But you notice there's a couple of them that don't have any labels. What did we do before? We zeroed in. Bank of America with drive-through. Dental care at Alamance Crossing. So it must be this one. Let's go in closer and closer. Ah! It must be that one. See, we figured out, we already learned, it learned us good, right? Cary learned us good how to do it. Now, I'm doing something. There's 40. There's 62. Oh, Burlington Alamance Regional Airport. Very good. That's a landmark I'm going to use in a minute. And we go northwest where Huffman Mill hits 40. And yes, I know that 70's up here. And that's University Drive 1 over. Okay, so what we're looking for, now, I think this is Alamance County. I want to see how close I've actually been to that. This is how my mind wanders around, but it's a way of having fun. NC markers. North Carolina Highway Historical Markers Program. We're on the search page. Alamance County. We'll just search on everything. Now, one of the places that I know is Battle of Alamance, but that's not what we're after. I know where Pyle's defeat occurred. It occurred just south of 40. So we're going to want to go there. Good. Pyle's defeat. Tory militia. Remember in the American Revolutionary War, especially in North Carolina, there were those that sided with Great Britain, and those militia, semi-regulars, fought along with British troops and Hessian mercenaries under General Cornwallis. The pivotal battle occurred 30 miles north at Greensboro. And then Cornwallis hightailed it out of North Carolina, went to Virginia, and Washington defeated him there and kicked the Brits out. Finished. Pyle's defeat. Tory militia going to join Cornwallis's army for the Battle of Guilford Courthouse, which is now Greensboro. Tory militia going to join Cornwallis's army, destroyed by Lee's Legion on February 1781 nearby on Colonel Michael Holt's land. How do I know there's a marker there? Because I did all of the North Carolina Highway Stoker markers in the early 2000s. And I remember that one. And I know exactly where that sign is. So what we do is we go to the GIS. Remember, we're following my wandering mind. Okay. Here's 40. There's 40. You see it? This is Maple Avenue, and that's where the marker is. This is in Burlington. What are we looking for? We're following 40, and that doesn't seem to get us to the regional airport. There's Burlington. But here's 62. And here's the airport right here. Now, the Red Lobster is on Huffman Mill Road. And I'm forgetting which place was it? I'm just like the president. Where did it say it was? Somewhere right in around here, right? This is terrible, isn't it? Look at the way I am. It's just a couple of minutes later and I can't remember where it is. It's on 40, just north of University Drive. It's on 40, just north of University Drive. So it's right in there. So then I go back here. And I'm looking. See, I'm waiting for the server to update me. So the answer is the Red Lobster's here. The Red Lobster's one of these. It's this one right here. Now the deal about that is, see, this is the way I relate things. How do you relate things where they are if you're looking? This is the North Carolina Highway Historical Markers. By looking at this view, what's the closest marker that we can see on this map to where the Red Lobster is temporarily closed and has sold its kitchen equipment? And the answer is right here, Piles Defeat. Did I get the right sign, or is there another one in the area? There's the airport. Oh, this is the Battle of Alamance? No, that can't be the Battle of Alamance. But that's, this sign is for something that's 6 miles away. You see, there's another historical marker. You know about the Battle of Alamance, don't you? It preceded Lexington and Concord in Massachusetts. May 16th, 1776. The people in the interior of North Carolina were tired of the British taxes. Oh, that sounds like what was happening in Massachusetts. So there were things called the regulators out this way, literally out here in the Piedmont, that were defying them. And one day the governor decided to bring some troops out and have it out with them. And they fought at a place called the Battle of Alamance. And the local regulators lost, and a guy named Fuse was hung right there. Fuse Ford, Durham, North Carolina. Yeah. And the grandson was the first president of a college that became Duke University. So I'm just telling you how these things are all interconnected. So that, no, I'm just like the president. I kind of lost my place. Oh, here it is. It's this one right here. Pyle's defeat. Now, where did it happen? This is back in the 2000s when I was finding all the markers. I lived in Raleigh and drive out here. This wasn't anywhere near as built up. Nowhere near as much built up. How do I know? This one right here, Anthony Road, this one right here. See, this is where the marker is, but the actual battle happened down around here at the edge of what is the airport now. It happened down around here, which is still sort of semi-countryside, but it was more countryside, and none of these buildings were there when I went from the sign and actually went to the place where the shootout occurred back in 1770, whatever it was. And I'm just showing you how all that trash is in there. Hang on. Hang on. I'm having fun. We don't want Burlington, Vermont, right? Oh, it's 49. There we go. There's Huffman Mill Road. The place we're interested in is this right here. The sign is right there. Can you see the sign right there? Can you see the sign right there? Can you see the marker right there? Did you notice how quickly I came to the same spot and I know exactly where this is? It's 2024. Let's look back toward when I was finding that marker. See the marker right there? There's a house there. There was just, this was there, but that gas, so let's go to 2012. The cameras are better. There's the marker. It's kind of tipped a little bit. See, that's the road junction there. Okay? So let's go forward a little bit. That's 2012. Let's go to August 2021. Now we got a big gas station in our neighborhood, right? And this stuff wasn't there. And this stuff wasn't there. So the reason for me doing this excursion is that I knew that by reading the sign that the actual battle, fight, or the ambush, was actually an ambush. Happened way the hell down here. And it says that was there in 2008. See what it's doing? It has to call it up. And now you see what it did? It just jumped up to February 2022. I think the search engines and all this stuff that's free online is just terrific. And the reason why I followed this was because I wanted to see how close the Red Lobster was to any of the places that I went actually finding highway historical markers. Because, oh, wait a minute. Let me show you something. Here's North Carolina, okay? Here's Kitty Hawk, the Outer Banks, there's Charlotte, all the way out here to Tennessee, and there's Virginia up there. We're a pretty big state. Back when I was doing it over a period of about 5.5, 6 years in the 2000s, there were over 1,400 markers. 1,400 markers. I think I remember that right. Maybe it was only 1,200, but I think it was 1,400. How many counties are there in North Carolina? 100. So you divide 100 into 1,400, and each county on average would have 14, but some counties have more and some have only 1 or 2 or 3. But there are 100 counties. And by going out and finding all of them, I've been everywhere in North Carolina. Because the markers are not just on the interstates. They're in places like, I'm going to show, this will be the end of it. They're in places like I'm telling you that a lot of what I know about North Carolina, not living in Raleigh and Cary, I don't go by markers there, and I don't go by markers here in the Asheboro area. But when I start thinking about places in North Carolina, my map reference are the North Carolina Highway Historical Markers and all of my adventures finding them, photographing them, and GPSing them. So I live near between Asheboro and Ramseur. And I want to get a little closer. There's 64. And I want to find the deep river. And I want to click right there on the bridge. Click right there on the bridge and get a street view. And as we come off the bridge, there's the marker. There's the marker. See it? When I was doing, in the early 2000s, that marker didn't exist as far as I can remember. But I know where that marker is. Now let me show you another thing. I'm just showing you how I really do have now we're talking about down that way. A moment ago we were talking about that way. Now we're going to talk about this way. This is a high accident intersection. This image was May 2016. Do you see the marker? You see the marker? It's not there right now. If you drive down to that intersection, the marker's not there. I don't know what happened to it. I suspect he got taken out in an accident. Because you remember just a month or so ago, I showed you how a gal who was trying to pull out of this Dollar General store across the highway, and a truck, a pickup truck or SUV or something like that, hit her right in the driver's door. This is an extremely high accident corner. So my theory about why that marker is no longer there. Now let me step out here. This view is now August 21st, 2021. This view is May 2023. The marker is still there. What have I tracked down? I know that it was there at least by a year ago, but I don't remember when it disappeared. I didn't notice. So that's why I'm just giving you a really long excursion. That's why, and looking at a news item like this, that's in a place that I'm not familiar with, one of the ways that I think about the roads and places in North Carolina is my adventures 20 years ago throughout all 100 counties looking for the more than 1,400 markers as a weekend fun. Steve AB40 just letting his mind wander and reminiscing a little bit and keeping up with the news, saying see you in 73.